Okay, now we're recording, and so whoever didn't get the first part, I'll recap this. And Nick is interested in comparison of ChatGPT and Jasper. So I'm curious what parts you want to compare. The thing that we use Jasper for, and we really love it for, like Katie said, is for teams. This gets everybody on the same page with the same base of information. So in ChatGPT, you can't upload all of your knowledge base. You can now enter in a little bit of information, but in Jasper, you can put links and upload, and it'll read the whole website to contribute to your knowledge base. You can also upload documents, you can copy and paste information, and then tag all that information so that you can pull it in. And this can help you if you have a web store or even just information about your product or services online and you want to update that. If all your product and service information is in the knowledge base, it makes it much easier because it's already there and you don't have to be the one to own that knowledge. So Mara Carr, who's on the Zoom right now, she works with us and she's in the Philippines, and she has much better outputs using Jasper than ChatGPT. ChatGPT in the Philippines tries to localize it a bit more, and she has a different experience and different outputs than when she's doing it in Jasper. And so if I'm doing something, if she's doing something, if Katie's doing something, or anybody else on the team, and we simply draw from the knowledge base here, we are all going to have consistently better outputs. But in ChatGPT, so we're experimenting with teams there as well now, but it's not actually available. We're in it, we can see it, but it doesn't work yet. And I'm curious how that's going to change in the near future, and we're keeping an eye on it. But right now, ChatGPT cannot give your team that same accessibility to common templates and information and a knowledge base. And Katie's very close to an area that is brand new, where we can start to create our own templates like we do in AI PRM with ChatGPT. And this is a custom template area. Will you show community? There are a number of prompts that people have created in here, or templates as they call it in here, to create different types of copy. And we can click on one of those and you can see, this is a thing we really like about Jasper, is that it gives whoever's using it these instructions. So the hook, the setup, the tips, and it guides them into getting a better answer. And so you don't have to have broad knowledge to be able to get good outputs in Jasper. You do need to be able to answer the questions and then get outputs. And something that we found too is if you just answer one of these questions, it will try to generate the rest. So Katie, will you just write a hook in here like save up to 50% of your time on tedious tasks with the 10-week applied AI marketing course.
And Chris had a question in the chat.
Yeah, let's see. What about what is Jasper used for in regards to applications? What do you mean? Could you clarify that a little bit more, Chris, what your request is there? And I will do my best to answer.
So with these templates, ideally you fill out each section here. We would fill out the setup, the tips or information, bridge, call to action. But these templates are really nice because you don't have to actually fill all the information out. Maybe you only have pieces of the information and it will still generate something based off of the first input.
Yeah, okay, you're seeing Instagram here. Where else is the tool applied for? So this is an Instagram template specifically. So anywhere that you're writing copy, you can use Jasper.
I just picked a random one from the community of templates.
Yeah, you can write blog posts. So we use it for blog posts, press release. We use it for website copy. It's good for making sales pages. It's good for email marketing campaigns, email sequences, tweets, LinkedIn posts. It's good for anything that you need to write. You could even write proposals with it and have your voice in there.
And we've also been using it for SOPs, which are really nice. And pretty much like Nicole said, anything where you have to write copy, it's great for. And it's also really nice for brainstorming, organizing. If you are a project manager and you need to figure out a workflow, you can use the conversational chat tool to help organize your thoughts and figure out the best way to move forward in a workflow.
Yeah, and then you can create your own. So Katie, let's go back to the previous page. And in here, so there's examples of different types of templates. So let's go to my templates. Click over to my templates, and Katie created an SOP template, but in here, will create a template for you. So what kind of template would you like to create, Chris? Do you have any sort of template? We have not used Monica.im. The Pinterest one shown. Okay. So Katie created this one, but I wanted to show you how we create a template, and it's really, really easy. What? Oh, email marketing drip campaign. How many emails, Chris? You want to do like 5 emails? Yeah. Okay, so then we'll create templates. And then Katie can share this template with the team, so then we can all use it together. And when you're creating your own template, you can edit it. You can edit all the different sections in here. So like where it says email 1 subject. Katie, will you do edit template real quick? Just so you can see. Then you can edit each one of these items. And so if you've got somebody working on this for you, you know your parameters, and then you can save the template and just tell them to go into the email marketing drip campaign and fill out the information and get the emails. So let's experiment with this. Chris, do you want to come off of mute? And you can answer some of these questions, and we can actually make an email marketing campaign.
So much pressure.
All right, so Katie, let's go to the top of this one and not edit. So we'll cancel. Oh yeah. Okay, email 1 subject. What would you like the subject? And you can make it, purple trees. It doesn't really matter.
You can just go with it. I had no idea. I don't even use email marketing drip campaigns. I just threw it out there.
This is supposed to be things that you could use.
I don't even know. I'm such a terrible marketer. This is like, I'm just subscribing to everything I can to learn as much as I can.
Okay. Well, Chris, what is it that you do?
We have a interior design and construction company that we're switching over just to doing kitchen remodels that are semi-custom and custom, but we're really focused on the process. So getting in and out of people's homes with well-designed kitchens in 4 weeks.
Oh, wow. So then let's do email subject 2, update your kitchen in 4 weeks. Let's leave out the key messages and see what happens in this one.
Okay.
Email subject 3. Is 4 weeks too long to get a new kitchen? Questions usually work well. And we use different tools to test headlines, so I don't know if these would be good ones, but you know, it's just an experiment, which
Yeah.
a lot of this is anyways. Email 4. What's a question people ask you about kitchen remodels?
Do you offer financing? That's probably the biggest question right now. How am I going
And-
to pay for this?
Do you help with that?
Yeah, we have 0% financing for 21 months.
Okay, 0% financing on a new kitchen. And then the last one, maybe, do you want a new kitchen? 0% financing? Kitchen, yeah.
Mm.
And then we'd probably put some emojis in here too. But let's generate. Oh. Oh, it's telling us what to do in the email because we didn't provide the information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's helpful too, though.
It sure is.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about Jasper, ChatGPT, conversational tools like this is if you feel stuck, if you have zero marketing experience, you can do something like this and it will give you a pretty decent starting base. And we could go through these questions here in Jasper. We could copy this text, bring it over into the chat and answer these questions. And then that would help us develop a pretty solid email marketing drip campaign.
Well, we can also, let's open it in document because we can do that in here. So if we open in a document, then we can have a view with the chat on the left side and that document information in the middle. And we can actually have a chat answer the question. So if you go to the next, so see how it's the eyeball at the top, Katie? Just go one to the right. Yeah. So now you notice it says speed, quality. We have the voice there. We could just copy the question from in here that it's asking.
Are we doing the whole thing or?
Let's just do email 1. We'll paste it in there and we could, if you had all your product info in here, Chris, we would draw from the knowledge base, which would be about your website. It might be some information about your kitchens and how you do those projects or 0% financing. So then we would put in information from your knowledge base and apply it and be able to answer the questions.
So I'm going to remove the AI smart marketing for now so it doesn't.
Yeah, and then you can also enhance the prompt. There are these little kind of sparkle looking things to the left of the megaphone. And Jasper has an enhanced prompt feature where if you have a brief prompt, it will make it more robust. So let's hit enhance prompt and see what happens here. So yes, act as a marketing specialist for a home improvement company. Draft a persuasive email intended to encourage homeowners to upgrade their kitchens. So that sounds accurate. And you always want to double check this because sometimes it puts in inaccurate information, but this looks accurate for what we want it to do. So then we're going to tell it to go ahead and do this. Let's push the little blue arrow. And it'll fill in the body of the email for us.
Okay, sign me up.
And this is a pretty good start. There are definitely things that you would need to double check. Like it mentions some facts between or from HGTV, the return on investment. You would need to double check that. Sometimes the links that it provides are accurate, sometimes they are not. So that's one thing you have to consider. Everything is updated until September 2021, unless you have provided it links and resources to refer to.
Yeah, the knowledge base is really helpful. Markart helped to populate our knowledge base with our customers' information. So then she can generate highly technical blog posts that an engineer has to review, and they pass. So before the knowledge base, we would have like 60 to 80% accuracy on the articles. I mean, these are things that we don't know all the technical information about, but then we were able to upload the technical information and a lot of data about the products. And now the articles are passing, I would say 90–95% without edits. And one of our clients is looking at doing an acquisition, and to show the seriousness of their acquisition, they wanted a press release. Usually a press release is like a month-long process of getting it to this person, that person approved and everything. But we told the GM, we said, okay, well, we'll use AI and we'll see how it goes because we have this new knowledge base. So thanks to Markart, like populating the knowledge base already with the existing clients' information, then we just pulled in the acquisition targets information and asked it to generate a press release that had quotes from both CEOs in it, as well as information about this acquisition. It passed. The CEOs both approved their quotes, and they approved the press release 100% as is, no edits. And that's because of the knowledge base and how powerful it is. That's why we use Jasper and not ChatGPT for the majority of our content production now, because of the knowledge base. And the conversations in the WhatsApp groups, you know, there were some people saying Jasper's no good, and there was all this, you know, chit chat back and forth. If you know how to use it, it can be incredibly powerful and time saving. Oh, and we've got a question, comment. Does Jasper create the content and it can be scheduled to also action the post? Can Jasper sync to other apps like image and video creation apps? Well, there are automations that we can do, which would require Zapier. And so it's an AI automation combination, Wesley. So Wesley was asking, so that he owns an outdoor advertising company, recently added digital marketing as a service for some of our clients. I hired 2 staff members to manage the content creation and posting. Does Jasper create the content, and can it be scheduled to also action the post? Can Jasper sync to other apps like image and video creation apps? Jasper does not post. It can create your posts, and it does not natively sync to image or video creation apps. We are setting up automations right now to get images from blog posts into Midjourney and have Midjourney generate images. It's a whole AI and automation combination setup, and then have those go into our social media management tool and distributed. The video part, we're working on that too. Right now, it can't assemble. We're trying to figure out how to, through a robotic process automation, where the way that works is the robot is programmed to enter an application as a human would. So for us, we do videos in Pictory, and we might take a blog post and put it in Pictory, and the robotic automation little process can go on as, you know, me or Katie or Markar and do the functions that we would want it to. And so we are working to set up automations that will take our blog posts and turn them into videos after they've already had images from Midjourney automatically automated. And they're in process right now of setting all this stuff up. So I will keep you posted and show you when we have this ready to go. It's possible to do it, and it takes some setup and a professional who knows how to do it. That's not our specialty, so we did hire someone to set it all up for us. Yeah, Maureen asked, what social media management tool are you using? We are using Content Studio and we love it. And I'll post a link to Content Studio in there as well.
And then just going back to some of what you were talking about with the automations and content creation, just one thing to be careful about with AI and content creation is you still need that like human driver. We always refer to it as source of truth, and you always need somebody to go back through and look at the content to make sure it's accurate, to make sure it matches your tone of voice, make sure the facts are correct and all of that. So you can definitely automate a lot of things, but there does still need to be someone who is that driver.
Yeah, and that's where we're testing out some closed loop automations, because closed loop is without a human in the loop, and automating these whole processes and having the robots act like humans. And we are testing out closed loop automations, and we don't know what the results are going to be yet. And we'll share it with you. But for us, you know, with what we do, it's okay to be experimental. It's okay to not be perfect. So if we have some wonky Midjourney images on some posts or some funny videos, we're okay with doing that right now. That is the risk in this situation for us, is having some funny things. And in our case, we can host a Zoom and show it to you and be like, hey, this didn't work, you know, amazing. You might want to condition it is. There's also with updates, if anybody's on ChatGPT, it was breaking this last week because they just updated so that it made anything attached to ChatGPT break as well. So if we're creating these automations and they depend on things like some of them are ChatGPT or Midjourney and they make updates, we may have to update our automations. And so that's in thinking about what you want to implement, you have to think about all of those bits and pieces as well. For now, what we usually recommend is just get used to a tool like Jasper, get used to using ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you like to use, and eliminate as many tedious tasks as possible. And then figure out how you can automate a bit more, because we could take these emails and we could create an automation that pulls from a template in Jasper and then takes it over to our CRM system. But then our CRM system is building in AI. And that's a whole different topic. We'll do another Zoom on that, because we're working on a couple of bots inside the CRM to be like an appointment booking bot and a discovery call bot. And because of what we do, it's a bit more okay to have them not be perfect and have people test them out for novelty, depending on the kind of relationship you want to have with your customer. You might need to have a human there kind of watching what the robot does as it's doing it, or what the AI is doing as it's doing it, because it's not perfect and it does hallucinate, it goes off the rails, and it gives inaccurate information. I mean, I had it write a bio for me, and apparently I went to Stanford, you know, which is not true. And I know that because I took a look at it. Wesley says, so once content's created on Jasper, is there a system to sync directly to email Insta? It's copy and paste right now. or you can build some automations connected, like using the API and Zapier. So you could create some zaps to put it into your either CRM or content management. Again, it'll depend on how open your CRM is to the APIs and to Zapier. So you can create the automations to do it, but it's not built in. You are welcome. Let's see. So the knowledge base was really the thing that I wanted to show you based on the conversations we were having in the WhatsApp group. And the new templates was a really cool thing, the dynamic templates. And you'll notice down here, it also says art. Katie, do you want to show them art down at tools and templates?
Sure.
So you can create images in Jasper, and they are not fantastic. Let's create a kitchen. So like a newly remodeled.
I was going to do
transition-
the kitchen and then enhance prompt
Okay,
and see what it came up with.
yeah, so Wesley, in theory, you could do your images in here as well. And we don't usually use this for image creation. Oh, yeah, photorealistic oil painting of a rustic kitchen scene. That is not what we want. I was gonna say transitional style.
Okay.
And a big part of getting the good outputs is knowing the inputs to put in. So being that prompt master, prompt whisperer, or prompt engineer. So you notice Katie was changing the prompt so that we'll get hopefully a better result than what it had generated. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it looks like some of the renderings that you would see on real estate websites.
Yeah. Well, it's getting better, that's for sure. So I had tried to create a bathroom and I got 3 toilets or 2.5 toilets. And yeah, we'll see what it does with the bathroom. So it is getting better. Yeah, AI custom kitchen. Exactly. Ooh. One of the things about images is considering where it is. So Chris is in Arizona, and we might want to say, let's do this and put in Arizona. And it will change what the background is. Nick, I think it's not Midjourney. I think it is Dolly in the back end. That's a good question. All right, Katie, can you change the background of where it is? Because we got a question, can you remix it?
Like selecting a photo and then
Or just right here, let's change the I don't know if we can remix from these images, but what we tend to do is, oh, change the tub. So a lot of times if we want anything custom, we end up taking it into Photoshop, and Photoshop has really good AI in it, and it lets you get a lot more specific.
Yeah, so what I would do is I would say, like, if I liked this one of these images, I would save it, bring it into Photoshop. You can select with the selection tool, and Photoshop beta right now, you can play around with this for free. So you can use the selection tool, and I could select the tub and type in clawfoot tub, and it would generate a totally different style tub. And like Nicole was saying, Jasper is getting better with images. I personally find Midjourney to come up with the best photorealistic images, if that's what you're looking for. And it does kind of depend on like the prompting. You might have to iterate a few times to get it right where you need it to be.
Yeah, and if you're just creating some Facebook ads or some Facebook posts, and depending on what your business is, the images might not matter that much, and you can get away with some images generated in here or something else. And we also use Firefly, and that puts a watermark on the images. It's by Adobe. But this was supposed to be a Jasper session, so does anybody else have any Jasper related questions? They are changing the features and updating very, very consistently. And so we just keep an eye on it. I mean, we discovered some new things yesterday that it could do, and we try to keep up with it. They do webinars to announce updates as well. Oh, can you go over setting up brand voice? Let's see. One. Oh, okay, so yes, Juan. Katie's in the voice section. Juan, I'll answer your question in just a minute. There is a way to optimize that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show voice real quick.
Is it okay to delete this one?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's two different ways. You can take copy that you have already worked on and copy it into here, or you can put in your website URL and Jasper will scan that.
Will you do NicoleDonnelly.com?
Mhm.
Because I have things that are in my voice and that are different than, I have a different voice than the company voice. And so I'm curious how it's going to describe the voice. We do pull from my website for, it's in the knowledge base. And one asked a question, is there a way to optimize when to schedule posts? Yes, and in Content Studio, the tool that we use, you can create a posting schedule. It learns what works for your channels and will suggest optimized times. And you can actually create a calendar. So anytime you drop it in, it just goes to the next scheduled time. So you don't have to schedule the time for that post. It already has a schedule. You drop the content in and it just goes into the next available time to go out. Oh, how do automated responses to the posts work? We don't really do that. Sometimes we do an automated first comment so that we can put more keywords or hashtags into it. But we don't really do the automated responses. Oh, they couldn't get voice from that URL. All right. Chris, what is your URL?
I think you put it up there earlier.
I think so. It's Fitch Hill. Oh, kitchens with fh.com. See if there's enough info there. And then on this, it'll give us what it says the tone of voice is, and we take a look at it and see if that is the style that we want, and we can edit it when we're importing it. And if you look kind of behind this pop-up by AI Smart Marketing and by Markey, there's a little info sign. And the info has the description of the brand voice when you hover over it. So
The
your
brand-
brand,
Sorry.
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say the brand voice is informative, professional, customer focused. It emphasizes expertise, reliability, customer satisfaction through concise language, testimonials, customer experience, inclusive language, a positive tone, and focus on values and integrity. This is a good way to see if your tone that comes across actually matches what you want conveyed to your audience. So you could name this right here, anything. You could name it kitchens. And then we would hit create voice. If you are using this as the default voice for your workspace, then you do have the option to make that the default one.
Now we've got your voice in there.
Gentle, sweet soul. So now what we could do is we could come into chat, we could come into creating content up here, a blank document, a new blog post, but we would select the voice that we would want to use here. So I'm going to do kitchens and apply to chat, and we could write a blog post about the top 5 new styles of kitchens for 2023. We can enhance the prompt here. I'm just reading over the prompt to see if everything in here is okay. And we'll see what it puts out. Oh, it looks like it changed the voice back.
That's odd. You just delete that. Stop the chat too. So I also got a question about, does the quality of output differ in other languages like German? And I love that question because my first language is English. I do speak German and I speak some Spanish, but I am not a good source of truth for it because my language level is not fluent. And so if we were to produce something in German or Spanish, we would want a native speaker to look at it and make sure it was contextually appropriate and sounded right, because we can tell when somebody is not a native English speaker and produces content usually, because there's certain words that AI will use over and over and over. And there are some telltale signs. So if you want to have really good content, you will have native language speakers take a look at it and make sure, again, it's that human in the loop, just to make sure that it's good. And you can also ask AI, you can write Jasper and say, make this content undetectable as AI. And usually it'll test at about 98% human when you ask it to revise it to sound more human and undetectable as AI. So something else to take into consideration. And Nick, is Jasper restricted to 2021 content? It's not necessarily that it's restricted, it just hasn't been trained, but ChatGPT is what this chat is built on in Jasper. It's also supposed to have Claude in it, which does have more new information, but I would never consider these chat tools as the research tools for accurate, up-to-date information. Like if Katie clicks on these links like HGTV, we can see when this is from. When I asked for like top 5 books in AI, it gave me stuff from 2011. So what's the date on this one? This doesn't say what the date
I'll try a
is.
different one. See.
Yeah. Oh, this has 2023, so that's good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes these links don't work at all. So
Yeah. I've not had, if they give me 5 links, I've not had more than 3 work at a time. Like be real links that go to real pages with current information. It looks like it's getting better now. And so this is probably the influence of Claude. All right, we have 4 minutes left. Do we have any last questions to wrap up here? Oh, Chris says getting 90% there still saves so much time. And that's why we love this. And that is what we do. Like from our classes, we did a survey in the last course that just wrapped up. And we had people say they saved a minimum of 30% of the time and up to 95% of the time they spend on these tedious tasks. The average was probably 50 to 60% of their time. And our friends with a social media agency had a goal of saving 25% of time using AI for social. And they said they save 75% of the time now. And so they are able to have less staff, do more. And on the marketing side of our company, we're able to manage 4 times the workload than we could before AI. And so we love it for that. But basic wrap up of Jasper, the knowledge base is what really puts it ahead and lets you do content and be consistent across teams in the content you're producing. And then you can also have the templates that helps you to be consistent across teams. Oh, Nick says, I've been using ChatGPT with AI PRM. Why should I consider using Jasper? We're a small design and digital marketing firm. ChatGPT with AI PRM is good, and Jasper will keep all of your people and all the information in one place. ChatGPT won't do that yet. And also the knowledge base. You can't have a knowledge base on ChatGPT the same way that you can on, you can't do it on AI PRM. We use AI PRM religiously too, and I love it. But we can't have a knowledge base that's as deep as we can on Jasper. And Katie Markar and myself and anybody else on the team has access to this knowledge base when we go into Jasper. But on ChatGPT, we don't have that same kind of access to be able to access the knowledge base of the information from the different clients that we're working with, or even our own. And so if I want them to create something in a chat that's consistent, I have to share the chat with them, and it has to have a base of information already, and then they can continue on the chat in ChatGPT. So I guess the summary would be it saves time and creates more consistent outputs across the whole team. Chris says saving 30% of our time equates to $165,000 in direct value. Not to mention what growth we could get in revenue on top of that. Data like this has me looking at our business through a different lens. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that is how we feel too. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks everybody for attending today. And this is recorded, and since you are here, you're probably on the list, and we'll give you a recording of this to reference back to anytime, or just have in your back pocket to send to somebody on your team as well. So thank you, everybody.